go. Yes, I'm still doing back-to-back videos. You're very observant. So this one is a book review for Witches of Ash and Ruin. This is yet another book I picked up because Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin recommended it. This is a upper end YA book. It's almost new adult, but not quite. That is set in Ireland. It deals with witchcraft, misogyny, prejudice, LGBTQ+, and I'm sure there are other letters, but I can't remember them at the moment, sorry, and murder, and revenge, and darkness. This book is dark, and not like depressingly dark, it's just like dark. You know, it's obviously magic has light magic and dark magic, and this mushes it all together. It has the full spectrum of magic, and when it's dark, it's, my God, it's, yeah, sacrificial dark magic, and pretty, whew, I loved it. Oh, it was awesome. People have compared this book to Charmed, the original 90s series. Yes, I'm that old. And I would say, yeah, it's got that vibe to the whole family that witchcraft tends to encourage, that the fact you are a coven, that you're a group together, you're a family together, and that's very much part of the focus of this book. I really enjoyed reading about Dana. She's the lead, she's our main lead in here. She's a struggling 16-year-old. She's got OCD, which she kind of controls, sometimes with medication, sometimes with her own, you know, coping mechanisms that she has. She's got a priest as a father. He's not nice. You know, when you think typical uptight religious priest, yeah, that's her dad. He is actually a bit of an arsehole, to be honest, and you're not supposed to like him, but there are people like him out there. That's what's worrying. Dana has a mother that she hasn't seen for many years because her father packed off mother to a religious camp in order to cure her of her mental instabilities. See where we're going here? Yes, there's a lot of that religion can solve all your problems. You know, religion can stop you being gay. That's even in here as well. Obviously, you know what I think about that. But it's really interesting seeing it written down, and particularly set in a country that is very much still religious in very much the big R sense of the word, and the fact that witchcraft is a big evil thing, you know. And this is set in a tiny little town where pretty much everybody knows everybody, and yet the witches keep themselves to themselves. They keep themselves hidden. They don't let the church people know that they are witches. We even start the beginning of the book with a protest outside of one of the shops with the churchgoers going, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." And Dana's like, they're at it again. It's part of their lives that they have to deal with. But because she's part of the coven, because she's accepted in her coven, she doesn't fear quite so much as someone who would be on their own in a similar situation. So there's a lot of positivity and hope amongst the witches, and Dana, I think, gets a lot of support as well from her friends who are all witches and all practicing witches. Now, in Witches of Ash and Ruin, there is an actual concept of magic. You know, they're not just doing spells. There is actually a connection to the old gods, to the old ways, and magic is passed into practicing witches at their rite of passage. It's called, I think it's their ascension. So there is actual magic in this book, which puts it into the fantasy area. But actually, it could very easily be a contemporary modern day novel about prejudice, about religion, and about controlling women. There's a lot of that going on in here. But like I say, it's actually really dark, which is why I would put it up at the upper end of YA. There's no sex in here. There's, you know, the language is actually fairly mild compared to some of the stuff I've read. But the violence, yep, there's no hidden off screen or anything. This is full page blood and gore. And yeah, nothing is left to your imagination. And I quite like that. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you too much about Witches of Ash and Ruin because I kind of went in a little blind. I knew a little bit about it, but I'm really glad I didn't know much because it really added to the enjoyment of the story unravelling, of seeing where these characters were all going and seeing how they were coping with the situation that was unravelling in their hometown. And I really enjoyed that. I'm going to say, if you like magic, strong witchcraft, certainly a little bit of charm, this idea of battling against the old ways of life, almost, certainly when it comes to belief. And I'm not going to say faith because it's not faith that's the problem, it's religion that's the problem. That's very clear because the witches have faith, whereas the churchgoers, they have religion. And that's key, I think. But if you want that kind of conflict going on between the old world and the new world, and women asserting themselves and standing up for themselves and just being nice to each other as well. There are some issues in here with some of the relationships, but actually they make sense because of the characters, but I can't tell you too much without spoiling things, so I'm not going to spoil things for you. But it's nice to see supportive groups of women again. I know this is kind of like a new thing still, but it's really important that we have positive female relationships. And I'm not just talking romantic ones, I'm talking friendship ones. It's important because we need to be supporting each other. And certainly this book is about supporting each other. And I like that. So if that sounds like the book for you, go and give this a go. It has just come out. You might have some issues getting hold of it because obviously the virus has kind of put the printing industry a little bit down at the moment. So getting hold of new books, particularly in the UK, I found is a little tricky when they've not been published over here yet. And trying to get them from America, it's taking time, but hang in there. My copy came from Blackwell's. So if you don't want to use Amazon, there's an alternative for you. But there we go. So, have you read Witches of Ash and Ruin? If you have, let me know down below. What did you think of it? Again, no spoilers because it's still quite a new book and I don't want it ruined for people who might be thinking of reading it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. And also recommendations for other like charmed, witchy kind of books that have that dark element to it that I really kind of like. Hey. So there we go. As always, there is a link to a small tuber in the description box down below, as are the links to my social media and my book blog, where I will be posting more book reviews on there. Fingers crossed. So please go and check them out. If you would like to like and subscribe, you know, those are down there somewhere. And notifications, if you click the little bell, because I'm aware that I don't post as regularly as some of the bigger channels, so my videos can get lost. So if you really want to know what I'm doing when I do post stuff, notifications are here is the best way to go on that one. So, yeah, just a little reminder. There we go. Admin reminder. So as always though, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and happy reading. Bye.